Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
How about now?
Where's your shirt?
Well, I can't wear a shirt right now.
Okay. Why?
Because I was out power washing the fence and I stopped everything in order to
Do this thing.
do this thing. Yeah. So.
Got it.
So it
How
could be
about
done.
now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. All right. I think we're rolling. Is Nick there?
Yeah, I'm
The
here.
problem is I can no longer hear you guys.
You got to be kidding me.
No, I have to turn the in-call volume up.
All right. Go ahead. No problem.
How about now? Now can you hear me?
Yeah, you're just a little overmodulated. We'll deal with it in post. No big problem.
I'll put the computer on. Hold on. Oh, God.
Oh, God, he's up.
Ah. How dare you make me get up?
How dast I?
How could you?
I'm
We're
dastardly.
still waiting on Nick anyway, right?
Nah, Nick's here.
No, I'm right here.
That's okay.
Nick, how you doing? Digging the shirt there, amigo?
Thanks, man. This is my tropical shirt.
Oh, good. I like it. Well, I'm in a bit of a foul mood, so it might be an interesting podcast today.
Sure
That's
could
good.
be. Yeah, we
That's
like
good
it when you are.
material.
Yeah, we are. It's quality. All right, shall we go ahead and get started while guys getting ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Fire that shit up, homie.
All right. Welcome to a Shinn Show special shirtless edition on my part. And joining us from Omaha, Nick and Sarah Shinn, brother and sister. How are you?
Great.
Fine, just fine.
Yeah,
Fine, just fine.
I should, and my also father, we're father-son and father-daughter type situation as well. Also joining us, Guy Shinn from the friendly confines of Arvada, Colorado. Is it Arvada or Arvada? I always get confused about it.
Actually, if you live in Colorado, it's Arvada. If you don't live here, it's Arvada.
Okay, so it's Arvada. Got it. Okay.
Yes, it is Arvada. But I don't live in Arvada anymore. I live in somewhere else.
In an undisclosed location. I forgot. Yeah, you did move. I don't know how I could possibly forget that, and yet I did. All right, joining us from the girlfriend murder capital of the world, Frederick, is Guy.
That I don't know if it's the wife murdering capital of the world, but that guy sure did murder his wife.
He murdered the hell out of her. He sure did. And the kids. That's the thing.
And the kid. Yeah, he did.
That was the grotesque part. All right,
Yeah,
anyway.
Dad is a motherfucker.
Yeah, he was. Some bitch.
When did this happen?
I don't know, what, a few months ago?
Oh, it's been 6 months now, at least.
Yeah, he's confessed to everything. So this guy, his wife was pregnant. He was having an affair. And so rather than,
He strangled the girl, and then he went and strangled the kids as he was burying the girl. Is that?
Yes, that's the guy. And then he put the bodies in oil tanks. Yeah.
Yeah. And then confessed it because he felt so guilty. Remember, I was telling you and Murphy about this, Nick.
Yeah.
It was real fucked up.
Yeah, and Guy knew that girl, at least knew her to look at her. The murder victim.
There's your 6 degrees of separation.
Yep. Isn't that true, Guy? Well,
We've lost Guy.
We have, but it is true nevertheless. Still true. It'll always be true. All right. In any event, well, Guy was joining us. It would be sad if the rest of the podcast is sans Guy.
It seems like he's trying to speak into the mic right now. I can see a little video of him trying to speak into the mic.
Oh, I see.
We've got 2 guys. This is freaking me out.
Yeah, there's 2 guys here. There's one guy. There's the Bizarro guy in the middle, and then there's the Bizarro guy who's banished back to the Shadow Realm.
I see. Well,
the Ghost Zone, or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, exactly.
Phantom Zone. That's what it is.
Yeah. So he'll probably just need to select the correct microphone, is my guess.
He's working on it.
It's fine. So in the meantime, you are going to Kansas City. Is that right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
we're going to go see Theo Von.
Who's Theo Von? Is that an artist?
He's a comedian.
He is.
Yeah, he's from Louisiana.
I see.
Louisiana.
And he's funny, obviously.
Yeah, he's very funny.
This is his last U.S. show, so we're catching it.
His last U.S. show, is he from the U.S., though?
He's from Louisiana, as I mentioned earlier.
So how can this be his last U.S. show?
Because he's going to go tour, and it's not his last ever. It's just the last one on this specific tour.
Okay, I was a little confused. I thought it was like some sort of farewell.
No,
we don't know that.
Australia.
That's true. You never know. it could be his last show.
I guess so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he plans it that way, obviously.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, you're good, guy.
Yeah, we gotcha.
We never had a doubt.
Well, the microphone don't work, homie.
That's okay. You still sound 1,000% better on that computer. You do.
Let me see if I can get in. No, let me try it one more fucking time here. Can you hear me now? How about now? Now can you hear me?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, you're still using the computer, but it's fine. Your sound quality is great, guy. Don't worry about it.
How about now?
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Now that was butter.
That was spectral. All right. So anyway, we were just discussing the fact that the kids are going to go.
Am I still using the computer thing, or am I on the microphone?
You're on the mic, man. You're on the ones and twos now.
Okay, fucking A.
Right.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it sounded pretty. It's just part of my urban patois.
I thought ones and twos was
Can
like discs.
Okay, I'm sorry. I missed the whole wife murdering, children murdering.
We kind of just glossed over that.
Yeah, so I wanted confirmation from you, Guy, that you actually knew the murder victim, at least to look at her.
I have seen her around, yes, and with her children.
Did you ever?
And her husband I saw them, I believe, at Peel, and I also believe I saw them at the rec center, but I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure I saw them at Peel.
I see. So it could have been some other family that got murdered.
No. I seen the chick and the kids for sure.
That's very unfortunate. So anyway, the point is that this is your 6 degrees of separation from that crime.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So big week this week. The kids are going to go see Theo Vaughn, right?
Yep.
They're going to Kansas City. They're en route right now. Well, not right now. They're in their basement right now, but soon they'll be en route. And then this week, I don't know. It's April. I mean, we got tax season coming up. Taxes due.
Who is Theo Vaughn? I don't know who this is.
He's a comedian. He's a Southern Louisiana comedian.
Yeah. And this could be his last show.
Why? Is he dying of cancer?
We don't know.
We don't know that, no. But he is going to go to Australia and do a tour over there and whatnot. So this is his last U.S. show before he goes and does that. Not his last one ever, presumably, although none of us can see the future and therefore don't know.
True. one minute you're taking your kid on vacation, and the next minute he hates your guts.
Right. I mean, yeah.
No one can predict these things.
Right. Guy and I were commiserating about children. I told him not to worry about Kyler's angst because, Nick, you can attest to this. There have been some rocky moments in our relationship over the years.
Yeah, quite rocky. But those were, I don't know, kind of self-inflicted by me.
Well, and I would suggest that the same thing probably for young Kyler there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, when he gets home, I'll fucking beat him, and maybe everything will be all right.
Yeah.
It's only funny because we know it's not true.
No.
As far as we know. All right. In any event. So let's talk a little bit about the news, I guess. I don't even know what the news is. I've tried not to keep tracks. It's so, it's just a bunch of gyration. It's just,
I heard Trump say that windmills give you cancer, so that's super awesome.
I did see
Just
that.
go ahead and
I saw that.
continue to spread that sort of harmful misinformation. Love it. Love it. Go Trump.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad you're getting on board the Trump train, honey.
Well,
I call it high time.
I might be late, but God knows he's going to be here for another 4 years. So
it seems likely because we have how many Democratic candidates? Would you say 75, 80?
Yeah,
they're shooting themselves in the foot with that thing.
Yeah,
That's
Pick one or two and fucking call it a day, man.
You know what
although
though?
it worked for the Republicans, so what the fuck do I know?
It did work for the Republicans, and what did the Democrats do last time? They had 2 candidates, one won, and then one lost. So maybe it's better to have a whole mess of candidates and then let them duke it out, and then the strongest will rise to the top.
The cream always rises.
The cream of the crop will rise to the top.
So saith my spirit animal, Randy Jackson. Randy Savage. I'm sorry, not Randy Jackson.
Oh,
Randy Jackson's cool too.
I don't know, dog. Anyway,
This
yes.
may be before your time, might be before Sarah and Nick's time, but who was it that sang the song? You know what I'm talking about, Pete.
Which one?
I'm the cream of the crop. I rise to the top.
I don't remember that song.
Oh, you don't know that song?
I don't
Well,
know.
I won't play it because we're on a podcast, but research it.
Yeah, look it up. Do your own research. Don't be a sheeple. That's our motto around here.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyway, so there's how many candidates are there? There really are like 20 candidates or so. But you know,
There's at least 3 that I know of that I'm following.
So which 3 are you following, Sarah Shinn?
I don't know their names.
I know Andrew Yang. He's a Democratic candidate who went on the Joe Rogan show.
Yeah.
What about Elizabeth Warren? Isn't she running for president? She's like 1/1200th Native American or something.
Yeah. Well, that's
very cool.
Yeah, she's running
Good
all right.
her.
Yeah.
There's Cory Booker.
Yeah, he's running.
I liked his ad.
Yeah. Okay.
His background looks good.
All right.
What about creepy Uncle Joe? Isn't he running?
That's good news right there.
From the cops, maybe. I don't know about for the presidency.
Yeah, old Joe there.
All of you and Joe Biden need to back off.
Oh, we're talking about Joe Biden? I just thought you were talking about some hypothetical man.
Did you see Jason Sudeikis, Sudaris, or whatever his name is?
Sudeikis.
Yeah, however you pronounce it. He did Joe Biden on SNL's Cold Open, and he's a bit touchy-feely and a little bit sniffy.
Yeah, well,
I didn't see that.
I didn't.
There's also Beto O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke. Sure, that guy.
Beto.
Beto. He's from
Tejas.
He's from El Paso.
Yep.
He's 1/1200th Mexican.
There you go. Getting our diversity.
I think we're all 1/1200th something.
Oh, the song is called "Jump Around" by House of Pain.
Oh yeah, jump around. Yeah, okay. I didn't realize that part of the lyric to "Jump Around" was the cream of the crop always rise to the top.
Yeah, I would have started with the jump around part of jump around.
Jump around. I'm the cream of the crop. I rise to the top. I came up to get down. Come on, man. Where are you guys at?
Oh, we're laughing at that. It's a classic hip hop song.
Okay, well, I can't play the song, but by God, I can sing the lyrics, and here we go. Okay, pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. I came to win. Battle me. That's a sin. I won't ever slack up, punk. You better back up. Come on, these are classic lyrics.
They are.
You're A+ delivery.
Yeah, it's all coming back now.
As Guy would say, that song always makes me cry.
It does.
Yeah.
Sanders and Warren are also warring. Yes, they're running. So.
Sanders, Bernie.
And then Andrew Yang, you said.
Yes. What about, the flavor of the moment, the most exciting candidate currently is a 37-year-old mayor of South Bend, Pete Buttigieg. Any of you heard of him?
On this list.
Nope. Have not heard of him. Doesn't sound too exciting at all.
Oh, no, there he is. South Bend, Indiana mayor.
The only motherfucker I've heard of at all is Andrew Yang, because I listened to him talk for 3.5 hours.
Describes himself as a millennial mayor, Afghanistan war veteran, and husband.
Yes.
Oh, the first openly gay husband. There you go.
Openly
gay candidate.
That he's not the first openly gay candidate. Believe it or not, in 2012 there was a Republican who I'd never heard of, but he's trying to correct. Like his name is Ed Krankle or something. He's like, "Hey, I was gay and ran in 2012. Hey, what about me?"
I thought that John
missed the thing openly.
Gay governor, but apparently he wasn't.
It was John Hickenlooper.
He was the governor of Colorado, and he later came out as gay.
Oh.
I thought he was the first gay governor, but he wasn't. The first openly gay governor, but he wasn't.
Yeah, who was?
He came out later.
Oh, I see. Well, so that means that Pete Buttigieg is not the only openly gay candidate in the race, because John Hickenlooper is running, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so, but I could be wrong. I could be another governor. I'm bad about that. But I found.
No, I think it's your current governor. I don't think it's John Hickenlooper. I think it's your current governor.
John Hickenlooper is running.
Yeah, but John Hickenlooper is not the current governor of Colorado. The current.
It says Colorado governor.
Well, he's former Colorado governor.
Yeah. Well, but he was married. Okay. So he was married, and what happened was his wife caught him fooling around with the guy, and then he came out as gay.
Hickenlooper?
So he wasn't openly gay.
Was it Hickenlooper or is it your current governor?
No, our current governor ran openly, as far as I know. But
so you're all a bunch of queers over in Colorado, is what I'm hearing.
Says the woman who's married to a woman.
So here we go.
I'm allowed to use that word.
It goes something like this: I'm the cream of the crop. I rise to the top. I never eat a pig because a pig is a cop. Or better yet, a Terminator like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Try to play me out like Oh, well, I lost it. I
Well,
lost.
well,
But you get the point.
yeah. And sometimes when I freestyle, I lose confidence as well, even though I am the hippopotamus.
My phone shut off and I lost the lyrics.
That's it's for the best. Really.
Okay,
is.
well, all right.
Even your phone said we're done here.
Yeah.
I'm done with the jump around.
Right.
On to the next one.
Anyway, so Pete Buttigieg is gathering a lot of excitement. He's raised $7 million. Now that compares to Bernie Sanders, who raised $18 million, but it is enough. That fundraising is enough to get him on the grown-ups stage when the Democrats hold their first debate in June. So we'll see. All I know for sure is that he's the youngest of the presidential candidates. He's barely eligible at 37. You have to be 35 to even run. And what I would say is that I'm more interested in someone young than someone who's in their 70s.
Fucking men.
I thought Beto O'Rourke was pretty young.
Okay. But what has he done? He's run for Congress. I don't know. What has he done?
He ran against Ted Cruz.
And lost. I mean, so
He was close.
He couldn't. Oh, okay. I mean, he couldn't beat a candidate in his own state. So
he's a United States representative.
Yeah, that's what he was. Didn't he have to quit to run, or is he still in Congress? I don't even know.
I don't know either.
I've got his voting record up.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, but I'm not going to read it. It's long.
Yeah, I couldn't possibly think of anything more boring than bringing up that dude's voting record.
Yeah, I agree. So let's get on to the
Why don't
more.
we just read
age?
What we could do instead of that, we could just read every word out of the dictionary and their definitions right in a row.
Why don't we read the phone book? That's fun.
This picture of him on his website, he's very sweaty. I don't know if that's supposed to be like him working hard or what.
Yeah,
but
man.
It's putting me off.
That's supposed to be him working for the common man, yo.
What, on stage with a microphone in his hand? It's not working.
He is the man, yo.
He believes he's the man. We'll see.
They all are.
Yeah. Hey, so
Would you like to know his vision?
Oh, sure. What's his vision?
I don't know. It's very long. Never mind.
Yeah, I couldn't possibly care less, to be honest.
Jesus Christ. It's like it's an essay.
Well,
what this is.
That's not a vision. Hey, I will tell you one thing about visions. Visions.
You had yourself a vision, Cola.
I don't even know. I'm sure that's a movie reference. But, yes.
Thunderheart.
Thunderheart. I'll be darned. Never seen it. But
Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
What? His what?
Is this guy's profile just bewitching you, or what's going on over there?
Well, no, I hit in Espanol because you can translate his entire website
He's from El Paso.
because he's 1/12 Spanish or whatever. But it did this
1/1200.
splash screen with him and a child. I don't know. It was weird.
Is the child sweaty? Is he sweaty with the child?
Well, it was like, why did you put it in here?
Who can say? But what?
Beto para todos.
What does para todos mean? It means like
For all.
Oh, I see.
Humanitata. It means no worries, bro.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done with politics. Next, what's next?
You're done with Beto. You're done with Beto. Anyway, you're done with him.
I think I'm done with politics, yo.
All right. Well, if we were going to do something boring, though, I would say let's just start reading, a religious text from the middle.
I have a question for you, Pete. Something I saw in the news.
Yeah.
It was the a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about the "Am I an asshole?" thing on Reddit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a front page of my Yahoo. There was a "Am I an asshole?" and I said I'm going to ask Pete because he's in the military. So what happened was a woman sent out formal invitations to a wedding and said it's a black tie affair, and a Marine showed up dressed in his Marine blues uniform.
Yeah.
His dress blue uniform. And the lady kicked him out and said, you just did that to upstage my wedding.
Yeah.
And so there was hundreds of comments. Some of them were, that's probably the only thing he had. He's a young Marine. He can't afford it, a tuxedo. That kind of shit, everywhere from he did it to get laid. So my question to you is it appropriate to wear your dress blue uniform to a formal event, to a formal civilian event?
The answer is maybe. So I'll give you an example. A good friend of mine got married to her wife late last year, and I asked her if she would mind if I wore my mess dress, because we have the reason I know her even is because we're connected through the military.
Right.
And I think it looks cool. And it would be appropriate, I thought, at a wedding. And she said, sure, no problem. But I would always check first, right?
Right.
That's the most sensible approach.
Okay.
You just check. No big deal. Hey, do you mind if I wear that? Oh, I'd prefer you wear a tux. Okay. I'll do that.
Guess I'll rent a tux.
Yeah. No biggie.
So I think the answer is everyone's the asshole.
I agree with that, actually. I mean, asking the guy to leave, though, I thought that was,
A little bit much.
Yeah.
You did see the article.
I did. I read the whole thing because what I couldn't get is, hey, how did you even pick this guy out of a crowd of 300? 300 is an enormous wedding.
Yeah, it's a big one.
That to me was the part that didn't make sense.
Okay. Question answered. Everyone's the asshole.
Everyone's the asshole. Ultimately.
Next.
True American fashion.
All right. So let's get to the important news. And the important news is that my dog shit on my basement floor. And then my Roomba vacuum, actually, it's technically a D-bot. The D-bot ran over the shit, and then it clogged up the D-bot and dragged shit across my basement floor. Fortunately, it was so much shit, and this little D-bot is actually quite efficient. I recommend the D-bot. It got filled with shit, so it couldn't really get that far before it just gave up the ghost.
There's a lot of YouTube videos on that.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. It's unpleasant. It's not good. But I will say this thing was so efficient that all that was left where she shat were these brown streaky spots. I'm like, wow, I picked up a lot of shit. So in any event, so we spent we rented a rug doctor, and it turns out the doctor was in. So we, did the whole carpet cleaning thing last night. But here's the question. Do you believe it's worthwhile to try and clean this D-bot of the hardened crust? By the way, dog shit gets really hard really fast. It's like
cement mix almost.
It is. It's horrifying.
How much was the D-bot?
It was about $280, I think. 250.
All right, well, there's the question. Is $280? Would you be willing to pay someone $280 to clean that shit out of that D-bot?
Here's the thing.
If not, then you do it yourself.
Here's the thing is that in order to clean it, you're going to have to get it wet again.
Exactly.
And it all depends on how long you want to spend with this robot, right? Like,
I'm a big proponent of throw it away.
Explain.
I told you to move house and burn it down and start over and start a new life, join witness protection. That's what I suggested. So I think you know where I stand on this issue.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. Now, Elsie's point of view, and by the way, Elsie is busily out working and mulching and doing the Lord's work on our house, which is what I should be doing. But in any event, her view is that, look, all I need to do is spend some quality time wiping this thing down, and it'll be good as new.
I disagree.
Yeah,
it'll never be the same.
Don't think it'll be good as new.
Always smell like dog shit.
I think Guy's right on this. Here's the thing, is that I think you should give it a try, and then the first time you run it and you smell that kind of burnt dog shit smell, because that's what's going to happen, then you can truly appreciate how much you need to throw that thing away.
That baked dog goods smell to the Roomba, that's when you grab that trusty, dusty sledgehammer out of the supply closet and just smash it into a million pieces right there.
Yeah. Well, so I did disassemble it to the greatest extent possible because I was thinking, well, if I can just get the battery out of it and maybe detach the motherboard or whatever. Turns out this D-bot is it's just a rolling computer is all it is.
Yep. With a tiny little vacuum attached to it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So, how do you wash a computer? You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah.
At the car wash. Power wash that fucker.
It's fun. All right,
if it doesn't work when you're done, you need a new one.
Well, it's funny you say that because I have the power washer out right now because that's what I was doing right before this podcast. I was power washing the portion of our fence that did not get stained last year. So it's been all winter, so it's getting power washed again so that we can stain it next weekend.
You know that you just said something that has cemented my decision to sell my house.
Which is what? Power washing a fence?
I have to power wash the fence again and stain it. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to sell it. I'm selling the fucking house. Thanks, man.
Here's what else will motivate you to do that. Have your dog shit on the floor and then have a robot go over it. That also will motivate you to think about selling your house. Actually,
program a robot to spread dog shit around your house.
Listen, I'd tell a horrible story right now, but I don't think I'd ever be invited back to the podcast.
Really? Wow.
So I'm not going to tell that story, but suffice it to say, I don't own any animals anymore.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was an unfortunate incident, I'm sure.
There was an unfortunate incident with Pedro. I do have a goldfish, and Kyler has a hamster, but the hamster, I'm afraid, is about to go missing.
Well, they're short-lived anyway.
How long do hamsters live?
Like 2-3 years or something?
Oh, fuck. That's 2-3 years too long. As far as I'm concerned. The rat's fucking dead.
Yeah, exactly. 2-3 years.
You know what?
It's got days to live, I'm telling you. Maybe minutes.
Now, let me tell you what... Let me tell you what this story is, though. The story is that you're going to find a nice hamster farmer. And it's going to live out its life on a nice hamster farm.
With all of its little hamster buddies where they can run around in a field and not get squashed or...
Fuck that. It's going to hamster heaven.
Okay.
The hamster farm is funny because that's what we told Nick about that duck he loved.
Oh, yeah. Off to the farm.
And you know what? If that's how it goes, you know what? Let me change my story. Pedro's running around right now on a lovely farm somewhere.
Good.
Enjoying what's left of his life.
Right. You didn't put him out of his misery because he got sick, if that's what you're thinking.
Right.
There was some family that Dad knew that had a farm, and the farm had this duck, and you fucking loved that duck.
I don't remember this story at all.
You were young. And then one day we went back to that farm and the duck was gone because it had died. But we told you it went to the duck farmers. Almost exactly whatever Dad just said about the hamster farm. I had a visceral memory of him saying that to you because you were crying because the duck was gone.
Don't remember that, but that sounds, like something that could happen.
It does sound like something that could happen, but the funny thing is, I don't remember it either. I mean, not one word of it.
Yeah, well, there you go. You don't remember knowing anyone who owned a duck?
No, I don't. I mean,
I don't either. I feel like Sarah's making this shit up right now.
I think this is the appropriate time to say pics or it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's true. Pixar didn't happen.
Look, if I had one time travel use, I would not spend it to go to that farm that I can't even remember and get pictures for it.
Exactly.
Where would you guys go if you had a one time, like you could go one trip there and one trip back? You could stay as long as you want. Where and when would you go?
Well, do I still have to live out a natural life? Like I can only live for as long as I'm going to live?
Yeah, you are not immortal, but you can spend as much time there as you want.
But you're spending your life.
Back to. Oh, wait a minute here. How can I'd go back somewhere to before the Powerball.
Right. That's what so here's what I said. I said I'd go back to the 60s because I could watch a bunch of good ass classic music, invest in Apple, not have to wear a bra very often, and not shave, and then come back after 5-10 years. And since I'm a woman, I don't have to worry about the Vietnam War. So, yeah, 60s looking pretty good for me.
Yeah, I guess you could just go back like 40 years and bet on sporting events, and then open up a bank account in your name, and then come back to the present time, and then...
I could even open it in my parents' name. They'd be alive then.
Do you know that the 90s were the 60s upside down?
Ooh.
Trippy
I
stuff.
do now.
It's true.
I'd be totally mind blown by that if
I wish we had an X-Files soundboard that I could just play.
Wait a minute. Why don't you have sound effects, Pete? What's your problem?
Yeah, well, I didn't know I'd need them. I mean, let's see. I don't know if I can...
at least get the X-Files...
We're going to need some sound effects for the next podcast, goddammit.
Yeah, I'll just lay it in post. I'll try and find the X people thing.
Okay.
And
I think I did right? more LSD in the 90s than a lot of people.
Oh, no question.
I say the 90s is the 60s upside down.
Actually, you did more. You did more LSD in one sitting than most people have in their entire lives. So there you go.
True.
That is true. But you ain't like that no more.
I I ain't like that no more. I'm just one of the fellas now, Ned.
Another classic Unforgiven reference. If you have not seen that film, you must see that film. It's classic.
It's a must-see. All right.
How old is it?
Next embarrassing failure.
Yeah, to the next embarrassing failure. Story of my life, pal. All right, so...
whoa. Where would
what?
you go, Dad?
Oh, where would I go?
Yeah, why don't we answer these questions?
Oh, yeah, okay. So you said 60s because I would just say everything you talked about, you could do right now. You cannot wear a bra. You can still listen to some good ass music.
No, you can't bet on sporting events knowing the outcome beforehand and open up a savings account and then travel 40 years into the future with all those winnings having accrued
And
interest.
invest in Apple. Come on, you missed the most important part.
That's true. Yeah, you can still invest in Apple. It's just not as good a bet.
I can't afford that stock right now.
Yeah.
Amazon stock is $1,800 a share now.
It's a bargain. All right. In any event, so where I would go is I would go to approximately around 60 in the 60 before the Common Era, somewhere around there where the Roman Empire is at its peak, and then I would become the Roman Emperor based on my
There you
knowledge.
go.
Yeah, based on my
Yeah, but
knowledge.
you can't speak
Philosophical
Latin.
nature.
Well, I didn't know that. I mean, surely if
How
I'm
would you communicate at all with anyone in Rome? Is
Google
my question.
Google Translate.
huh?
Google
Yeah.
Translate, obviously.
Okay. I would just bring an AK-47
Google
with me.
Translate.
Okay, Google. Vini vidi vici. So, anyway.
Yeah, but that doesn't work as good as a fully automatic weapon.
Dude, what I'm hearing is you'd go back to the Roman Empire. Okay, Caligula.
Right. Instead of Google, it'd be Caligula. Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, apparently Nick and Sarah didn't get that reference.
No, I know who Caligula is. He'd be a horrible person to ask anything, any amount of information or translation. So, yeah.
I found it very amusing.
I also find it mildly
I mean,
amusing.
it's funny. You'd get amusing results for asking him for knowledge. Amusing to him, certainly.
All right. All right, yeah, so I'd like to check out the Roman Empire and rule it.
Yeah, I would too, except I wouldn't bring a unfunctional, not working Google phone. I would just bring a gun.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
I would actually rule. I'd bring like an automatic weapon and say,
Oh, you can bring shit? Nobody said that.
Well, why not? Why couldn't you just, as you're traveling time, you just grab?
I thought you would show up naked like the Terminator.
Well, you could do that too, but also with an AK or a sawed-off shotgun. You want something with a lot of bullets. You can kill a few people.
And a backpack full of ammo.
Maybe some robes so they can't see the gun. You just point at them, and then they die on the spot. And you say,
How are you going to just point at them? You need two hands to work a fucking gun.
No, well, yeah, if it's
Gangster
AK.
style, Sarah. Gangster style.
I guess if it's
You hold the two AKs akimbo like Robert Downey Jr. in the rice paddy.
what kind of fucking robes are you going to get that's going to cover all that?
Well, you could have the barrel pointing out, and they would just think those are your fucking weird little hands. They don't know shit, dude. You just came out of
Your
a fucking
wands,
portal,
I guess.
and you waste a few people, and you say, "Take me to your leader," and then you go up to Caesar. Hello, buongiorno. Shoot him with the
Buongiorno.
buongiorno. I'm king now. Boom, and then
I like it. Fucking like it.
yeah,
Fuck
that's what
yeah.
that is.
Get out your little Latin dictionary.
And then you don't even go back. Or when you do go back, you just leave that AK-47 there on the throne. And then when you come back, we got laser weapons and shit.
Ooh, I like that.
Let me ask you this, Sarah. As an engineer, do you believe that time travel is possible? Like via wormholes and shit like that? Let me pose another further question. Do you believe that we can go to the future? I don't believe we could go to the future because the future doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
We could only go to the past.
Time's relative and all that, whatever. So if you're going really fast, time's going to be different. But I don't think that we could like open a portal and then just jump 30 years into the future. I don't think that's
Or the past.
Yeah.
What about a wormhole? What about a fucking
I don't know.
wormhole?
Well, if a wormhole opened up, who's to say that the time it takes you to would be in the same dimension? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good point.
Yes. Well, so here's the thing, though. We are currently traveling to the future. It's just,
real slow.
Yeah.
It's the pace of a fucking snail.
Right. One day at a time, we're traveling to the future. That's my view. But seriously, if you approach the speed of light, your time would seem normal. You're aging, but everything behind you would speed up much more quickly. And so if you did
time dilation.
Yeah, indeed. So you'd come back and you'd be in the future. If to you, only a couple of years would pass, but here on Earth, whatever the math says, how many years would pass. So that future time travel is certainly beyond theoretically possible. It's absolutely possible. But to what end? What would you do it for?
For fun.
Oh, I see. Well, maybe Elon Musk will do it. After he gets 1 million people on Mars, maybe he'll travel to the future. See how it all turned out.
Maybe.
Elon Mustard. All right, so I got some questions for you guys.
Yeah.
Have anything pressing to talk about? Pressing and burning and itching that you need to talk about?
Well, we do have the whole situation where Auburn continues to. Well, they lost to Virginia. Auburn made a real game of it. And then Texas Tech, I guess, is the final against Virginia. They beat Michigan State, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah, I saw that some students from Texas Tech flipped over a car and were dancing and jumping on it and shit because, it was a bunch of students because they won.
Yeah, so you know what? It's that
of themselves.
It's that damn song "Jump Around" that did it. They started playing "Jump Around."
Yeah, they didn't. They should have at least played it while they were doing it.
Yeah, the spirit of Macho Man Randy Savage descended upon those kids, and they all got the idea of how cream rises to the top and how they should perhaps jump around and vandalize property.
Yeah.
Which it's dumb when you're an adult, but I have done things like that before, so I'm not going to hate.
I've
never flipped a car over, but I'm sure when I was younger,
But I thought about it.
Yeah, if
I've
I was presented the opportunity.
Vandalous acts when I was in my youth.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not going to admit to them on podcasts because an admission of crime could be prosecutable.
I think, but you just did. You just said.
I did?
You said
It
you
was
did that.
vague, though. It was super vague.
Oh, it was okay.
Pretty specifics. I said I've committed acts of vandalism in my youth.
I think that's fair to say. I'm sure
huge.
that's not an uncommon. It's not an uncommon occurrence. I think in youth.
Yeah, and I saw that recently some gravestones got vandalized, and I'd like to go. I'm going to go ahead and come clean. One time I had a magic marker and I was in the cemetery, and there was a headstone and it said "best" on it, and underneath I wrote "chest in the west."
You're kidding me.
I think I was about 11.
You got to be kidding me, right? No,
I think I was I was between 9 and 11, and I had a magic marker, and I was in the cemetery. Maybe I was 12. I don't know. I don't know how old I was. I was pretty young, and I was in the cemetery fucking around, and I had for whatever reason had a magic marker in my pocket, and I wrote "best chest in the west" on a headstone that said that. And now that's my fourth step. I'm exonerated now.
that you've come clean.
I've come clean. I'm free.
All right. Well, congratulations on that. And you know what's a great congratulatory step after you've taken your fourth step is to head on down to Ziff's. Fine dining in a relaxed continental atmosphere in Invercargill, New Zealand, right next door to the throne room. Heavy tattoos after your light, refreshing meal at Ziff's. Both of them fake sponsors of a Shinn Show. Shout out to Ben.
Could you tell me what a continental atmosphere is? When you walk into a place, what makes you say, wow, this joint's got a real continental atmosphere?
You know what it is? It's a skinny fella with a pencil-thin mustache and a tuxedo. That's what it is. And
I thought you said intercontinental.
Well, I didn't, but it could be. Either of those things could be true.
Nice.
Yes, but you're going to find a pencil-thin mustache and a tuxedo in a small but very imperious man when you go to Ziff's.
Yeah.
You're going to
that sounds all that enjoyable, quite frankly.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I've not been there. But I am very grateful to them for continuing their fake sponsorship. Shout out to Ben. All right, so what's the next question?
I don't have a question, but I do have a Nick Shinn fun fact.
Oh, I'm listening.
Did you know that there's a procedure you can have done to implant a magnet just below your skin so that way you can sense electromagnetic fields? People who work on like electrical lines get it done sometimes, so that way they can tell if a wire's hot before they touch it.
Have you
I
been?
did not know that.
Have you been thinking about that, guy?
No, I have not. In fact, I didn't know that, but I do know that it, you can bare hand a wire and it's not going to kill you unless you're grounded.
Right, that's true.
So I don't know why you would do it. What difference does it make if the line is fucking hot? I mean, like I said, unless you're grounded, you can fucking swing on it like a monkey.
I don't know, but it sounded cool as hell.
It does. Jake, what was me and Kyla recently found out that Jake Paul's implant, his video implant in his arm was fake, and we were devastated.
Who's Jay Paul's?
Paul Logan or Jake Paul or somebody, some big YouTuber, and Kyler was like, there's this video online of him getting an implant put in his arm, and it's like Spider-Man. He presses the button, and the video camera comes up out of his arm, and then he can vlog.
Oh, I see.
But it's fake.
Yeah, that does sound like fake news for sure.
Yeah,
sad, very sad.
But that's cool. Now I'll tell you something. I did here that I found that I did a little research on that I thought was interesting, and it's the blood turbine.
What's the blood turbine?
A blood turbine is something they put in your artery, and your heart pumps through the turbine, and it generates electricity.
What? And to what end? To power your pacemaker, presumably?
I was going to say to replace the pacemaker, maybe.
Well, what I saw about it is that they're starting to experiment with wearable technology, because you're essentially like the Matrix. You're a battery, right?
True. Good point.
You generate heat. You do these things, right? Well, these guys are making shit that you wear like earrings and shit, and turbines that you implant so that while your heart is pumping, it generates electricity enough to charge your cell phone, shit like that. So you use your own body to charge your electronic devices.
Well, I think that's a great idea, but I'd prefer to be wearing my electronic devices like in my eyeballs. I'm still waiting to get those eyeball implants. I'd like that. I'd enjoy that.
Here for it.
You're ready for it?
Ready.
All right. Let's get it done. When it's ready.
You guys, I think you told me to go see, was it Alita, Battle Angel? Did you see that movie?
I did see that. Did you enjoy it?
I did see it. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Agreed. But don't you also think that it would have been nice if it wouldn't been... I was ready for the giant boss battle. It never happened.
Yeah, me too. They're setting it up for the second movie.
Yeah, they're setting it up for Dose. Alita, Battle Angel, Dose.
Alita, Battle Angel 2, Sexbot 9000.
Paratodos.
Gross.
What? The Paratodos part?
Yes.
Right.
Got it. All right. Very good. No, I did see, though, something this week, it seems like. Actually, you know what I meant to mention? I heard a new album. You remember Dido? You ever heard of her?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a new album out. I think you'd like this new album, Sarah. It's very, very grown up. Very grown up music.
Did you not like the old one, Sarah?
I couldn't tell you.
Anyway, the new album by Dido out this March. It's out a month old. I really enjoyed it.
I read the book you recommended, All the Birds in the Sky. That was interesting.
Really? Because that's one of the things I was going to bring up. I was going to bring up the fact that we recommend a lot of things on here, but then we don't take one another's recommendations often.
Nonsense, poopy pants.
Yes, you've put the lie to that. You have.
Yeah.
All right.
I've been making a concerted effort to read a book a week.
That's impressive. It really is. I have not read a book here lately.
I like those strange dystopian ones, and I came across a author kind of like she writes sort of like Hunger Games type books. Her name's Kristen Simmons, and I read Pacifica, and I can't remember what the other one was, but it was really Metal Town. I thought I enjoyed both of those books.
Were they part of a trilogy, or are they separate?
Oh no, they're not. I think the Metal Town one, there is a trilogy on the Metal Town one, but the Pacifica one I don't think is part of a trilogy. But she wrote several books, The Glass Arrow and Article 5. She's a teen dystopian, okay? Because I can't really find any. I've read most of the adult
Yeah.
that I can, find adult dystopian. So I'm relegated to teen dystopian because that seems to be who they write it for.
It is interesting, isn't it? You know, why do you think that is? Is it because your teenage years are such years where you feel yourself are like a dystopian, or is it because that most teenagers don't feel like they have a future, and so these books are very, very appealing?
I'd say probably the latter. The kids, the teenagers can relate. They can immerse themselves in it and pretend they're the hero or something. Maybe, I don't know.
Probably so. Yeah, it's a good point.
Everything feels dire when you're 13, 14, 15.
Or 10 in Kyler's case.
He matures young.
He does.
Quickly, something.
He surely does. Actually,
rapidly.
I started watching Forever, which is another Amazon Prime series starring Fred Armistead and Maya, what's her last name? She was
Angelou or something?
Well, Maya Angelou is a famous black author, okay? So it's not Maya Angelou.
All right. Okay.
Maya Goth? Shia LaBeouf's girlfriend?
No, I don't think so. She was on Saturday Night Live.
About Fred Armisen? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, did I say Fred Armistead? I did.
Yeah, Armistead.
Yeah, the
Armitage.
Right, Armand Hammer. Fred Armand Hammer.
Fred Armistead.
Fred Hammer and Maya Angelou in Forever. In any event, it's a great little show, and the premise is they're both dead. And episode 1 is how Fred dies, and episode 2 is how, Maya dies. Only Maya's name is June, and Fred's name is, something else. Not Fred, but I can't remember what. Anyway, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
You enjoying it? I watched The Highwaymen.
Oh, did you? The Kevin Costner, Woody Harrelson flick? And and what'd you think?
I gave it a C.
That's not enough to waste my time on.
You don't think so?
No, I need at least a B to watch.
All right, it's a B. Fuck it.
Well, this is so, but still, you'd say Polar is good too, right?
I thought Polar was good. It really reminded me of a Quentin Tarantino type.
Yeah, I like those kinds of movies. Need to watch it.
But I like the reason I like The Highwaymen is because most of the movies you see about Bonnie and Clyde are from Bonnie and Clyde's perspective, and this is from the law, the perspective of the law, which was to me very interesting.
And yet, it was only a C.
Because Kevin Costner's not one of my favorite actors. I think he's a shitty actor.
That's fair enough. That is fair enough.
If they would have got somebody, I don't know, not necessarily fond of Woody Harrelson. You know what? I think everyone's a shitty actor, to be honest with you. I think they have their little niches, and they're really, for the vast majority of those actors, they're one-trick ponies.
That's a great point. That's a really interesting perspective.
There's a handful of good ones I like, but even if you watch Matthew McConaughey, he's the same, he's the same. He may be a different character, but he approaches it the same way in every, it doesn't matter who he is. If he's a lawyer, if he's a scumbag or a hobo or a sheriff, it doesn't fucking matter. He's got the same accent. You know what I mean? He's
kind of Southern, kind of trying to be sincere.
Or the guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 with the hydraulic leg. That was for reals, y'all. That was my favorite Matthew McConaughey role.
All right, so, but what about, who would you call a truly versatile actor? Like a Dustin Hoffman?
I can name about 100 that aren't.
Okay, good point.
But I can't name any that really, I'll think on it. But I think Will Smith is the worst actor in the world. Tom Cruise, horrible. I mean, these are people society think are almost gods. They're horrible.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So this is interesting. I'm intrigued by this. Now, I would say that I think among men who I think are good actors, good male actors, gee, now when you say that, I'm really feeling a lot of pressure right now to come up with one.
Can you think of one? Think about it all week, and I'll bet you can't think of one fucking decent actor.
Yeah, I can. Fred Armistead.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you, take it back.
There you go. Haha. Right. Although Fred Armisen always plays the same character too.
That's my point. Is that what Will Smith's trick is? He gets all his lower lip wavers a little bit, and he starts to tear up. That's his trick.
It's a good trick.
You know what?
I can't do
All
that.
that means is that it's a good thing that there's so many actors.
Well, that's true. There's no shortage.
Because they all suck.
Well, you put a couple, you put all the mediocre ones together, and then you'll get a halfway decent movie.
All right, there you go.
Can you either of you think of a decent actress?
Well, Dustin Hoffman is a great actor. He's done a lot of different things. A lot of different things. He's a good actor.
Yeah, I mean, his role in Tootsie, I'm sorry. I just, that's like Robin Williams. If you dress up like Mrs. Doubtfire, you're out. I don't care how good of an actor you are.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, I came up with one name.
Mrs. Doubtfire is kind of a horror movie, to be honest. Like, they make it seem all campy and funny, but...
Didn't Dustin Hoffman do the same thing? Didn't he dress up
He did.
like a nanny or something?
No, he dressed up as a female soap opera star in Tootsie. That's what he did.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. And I have nothing against dressing up in drag, but I think that, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm just disappointed.
How about Michael Keaton? Michael Keaton's a great actor. I think he's
like Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
He was good in Pacific Heights.
He was great in Pacific Heights. And he was also quite good as Batman, frankly.
You think so?
I do. I thought
you know who wasn't good at Batman?
George Clooney.
Christian Bale.
You didn't like him as Batman, huh?
No.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. All right, let's get to the important. Speaking of Batman, here's why I'm topless. I'm topless because...
What the fuck kind of transition is that?
You pretty much already... All right, well, whatever. Go ahead.
So I'm topless. This is the topless edition of the podcast because right before I came in to do the podcast, I was power washing the fence. And while I was power washing the fence, I kicked up a lot of mud and dirt on my clothes, which were then soaking wet because power washing involves a lot of water. So I had to strip down to my skivvies just to get inside the door, and we were in a big rush at the time because I thought that we were starting promptly at a specific time, which, we weren't. But I didn't know, so I didn't really have time to put on new clothes. I just had to come down here and get the podcast underway. That's why I'm topless.
But what does it have to do with Batman?
Yeah, what does that have to do with Batman? Why did you feel the need to repeat that story twice?
Did I say it once
because
already?
we gave him so much shit for being late or moving the time the last couple of weeks. So this time he made a concerted effort to be on time, and it was me who was late.
I see.
I still don't understand what it has to do with Batman.
Because Batman runs around topless a lot. Christian Bale does anyway, in the Batman movies.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, if you say so, Dad.
You all bought that?
There you have it, folks.
Anybody buy that? No? Okay. All right. So, yeah. All right. So, any other questions?
Well, we didn't really get to a single one, but yeah. So, yes, there are.
Hit us with some questions, Nick.
I thought we got to the question. I thought we
did
the
not
time
get
travel
to one
question?
single question. No.
Okay. Well, let's hear it.
Now they're gone. No, I'm just kidding. Wait. Hold on. All right, here they are. Sorry, I kind of.
You got to look through them. No, we got to one question. The question was, where would you go back if you could time travel anywhere?
Okay, well,
That was Sarah's question, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Sarah's question. Now, here's another one. What is the most painful thing that ever happened to you?
Oh, geez, that's easy.
Physically painful.
Oh, that's not even an issue. Broke my pelvis. That hurt.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with broken leg.
Also painful. Not breaking your neck. I'm surprised.
Well, it's still painful to this day, but it's a different kind of pain. The pain from an actual, like a broken, like a snapped leg,
Yeah.
Although I did break my neck and I did have surgery on it, and that was painful, but it wasn't as painful as a snapped fucking tibia, man.
Whew.
That hurt.
Oh yeah. Oh, I understand.
I've never had any broken bones as an adult, so I'm really not sure. I don't remember having broken bones as a kid. I know they happened, but
how about
in my youth, I had my septum pierced, and that was a little bit painful.
Ouch. Now, I remember one time, Sarah, when you fell off your bike when you were about 10 or 11 years old, and I threw you in a bathtub of cold water, or I wanted to.
Yeah, I do remember that. But I don't really remember well, first of all, I blacked out. Second of all, I don't remember viscerally that pain,
Oh, well, all right.
Wait a minute. Why'd you put her in a bathtub full of cold water?
Because he was going to wash the gravel out of me. That's what he was going to do.
I thought you were unconscious.
Well, no. Well, I don't. I remember starting to go down the hill, and then I woke up in the hospital. So.
Yeah.
Did she have a concussion?
Oh yeah, she was concussed. Luckily, she was wearing a helmet though.
That's good.
Or it would have been a lot worse, I think.
I had a pretty nasty bike accident one time. I was hauling ass, and there was a little 2-foot cinder block fence, and I veered off, and I hit the cinder block fence, and I went ass over elbows, and I smashed I came home vomiting violently, and my mother and father said, "No, go take a nap. You'll be fine."
Which is exactly what you want to do after a head injury. Sleep it off.
Actually, you're not supposed to do that.
No, I know. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I also had a very serious bike accident where I was bringing home some dish soap. Amy at that time lived on one side of Montpelier, and we lived on another side, and we had this viaduct between us. It was like a big bridge. And then I was going down this viaduct with this dish soap in this like bag hanging off the handlebars, and it somehow got caught in the front spokes of the wheel, causing the wheel to seize up immediately and causing me to fly off the bicycle, literally ass over tea kettle into like a field on the other side. And I was uninjured. Weird.
That is weird.
That doesn't sound like it's very painful.
No, it was. It was very frightening, but no.
So what was yours, Nick? Is it when you got beat up by Will Ferrell in the monkey suit?
No, that didn't hurt at all. I just woke up. And that's not what happened, by the way. just so we're clear.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. This sounds good.
Well, I just was riding my bike to school once, and then I just woke up with some man standing over me saying, "What happened? What happened? Are you okay?" And blah, blah, blah. And it turned out I had my skull was fractured in 3 places, and there was some severe head trauma. And the doctor at the time said the only thing that if no one knows what happened, that the only thing that makes sense would be that I got hit by a car and that they ran away since no one was there. But
how old were you?
I was in 6th grade.
Oh, well, then you would have been 12.
Yeah. So, yeah, but that didn't hurt at all. I just, aside from, I get like chronic headaches. Yeah. But the one thing that hurt the most to my most recent memory is when I dropped that 4-pound sledgehammer on my big toe. That fucking hurt.
Ouch.
Like that pain did not subside. Like, when you stub your toe and it hurts like a bitch, but over time it goes away.
Yeah.
Shit, when I dropped that sledgehammer on my toe, because it just shattered my toe like a fucking dinner plate, and that toenail just came right off. And it was just
I've had that happen before too. I dropped a railroad tie on my big toe.
Oh,
yeah. It just didn't go away. The pain did not stop. Like for
same
hours.
Thing. And I had my boot on, and I had to work the whole weekend in Texas, and I couldn't take my boot off because my toe was swelling up so bad that if I had taken the boot off, I couldn't get it back. I couldn't get my foot back.
Oh, Jesus.
So my boss was like, "Don't take your fucking foot out of the boot because you got to work all weekend."
Compression boot.
I didn't go to work that day.
Yeah. Well,
I think probably the most painful thing that happened to me that I remember as an adult is when I fell down those stairs at your house, Dad.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Shoot. Yeah, you broke your tailbone or came very close to it. Ouch.
Yeah.
That sucked.
But what happened with the Will Ferrell in a monkey suit? I didn't.
Well, the joke was that nobody knows what the fuck happened. No one has any idea how my head sustained such massive trauma. I was just found on the side of the road with.
But you were riding your bike.
Yeah, I was riding my bike, but it was I don't know, maybe 20 feet from my front door at the time. Like I'd got maybe half a block away. And some dude was standing over me like, "What happened? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And I had a fucking a black eye the size of like a baseball for like, I don't know, a couple months. Yeah. And the doctor said it was a good thing that my skull was fractured because my brain was swelling. So
let the pressure off.
Yeah. Let the pressure off. It would have caused serious brain damage if my skull did not fracture. So silver linings.
Right. All good news. All good news. Good news story.
Yeah. Next, I think we've all answered the question. What's next?
I believe we have. So, what's expensive but shouldn't be?
Healthcare. Next.
Good one.
Feminine hygiene products.
Feminine hygiene products. Fair enough. Fine. Sure. Okay, I'll buy that.
How about a water heater?
Right.
Fucking $1,000 for a fucking tank.
Jesus.
Well, there seems like there's other parts to it, isn't there? I mean,
not really.
I bought some copper tubing, and I had to buy a torch and a copper tubing, But by far the expense was the fucking water heater.
Well, yeah, that's because you put it in yourself. Okay, so can you imagine the labor that cost? It would have been $1,000 to put that thing in for labor.
So.
For labor.
Yeah, but that's fucking ridiculous too. You know what? Maybe don't even get me started. You know how much my neck surgery was?
A lot. I started out by saying healthcare, didn't I? Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, healthcare. Yep. Okay.
It is. It's
I
ridiculous.
do kind of want to know how much that neck surgery is, though.
$100,000.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah. Luckily, you have to pay but a fraction of it, but still, even a fraction of $100,000 is a lot of effing money.
Well, my deductibles met at $3,500, and I just got a bill in the mail today for $500 for miscellaneous.
Yeah. Well,
what the fuck is that?
That's a lot of stuff.
Miscellaneous.
Yeah, it's covered.
That's what I said. I'm going to call them up and I'm going to go, no fucking way. You get to just put miscellaneous on a fucking bill. You're going to itemize every motherfucking aspirin on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You don't just get to send me a bill for miscellaneous just because we want. You know, fuck it. Why not send me a fucking $1 billion bill?
Additional dealer profit. Additional dealer profit. That's all that is. Well, anyway, yeah. So, unfortunately, I got to kind of cut this short. You know why?
Why?
Oh, I got to go back and finish power washing this fence. And
He feels real guilty about leaving his wife out there.
Well, I do. And, oh, by the way, the kids, they got to get on the road to this to Kansas City.
Yeah, actually,
Okay,
we do got to do that.
Have a fun, safe trip, and I'll send y'all a bill
All right. Miscellaneous.
for miscellaneous shit.
Miscellaneous podcast expenses.
All right. Peace out. Sorry,
All right.
monopolized your.
Guy, it's always a pleasure.
All right then.
All right. Later.
Later,
All right.
dude.
All right.
Later, Gator.
All right.
Here we go. A Shinn Show is a production of Shinfluence. It features the voices and opinions of the Shinn family, which are exclusively and entirely their own. It's brought to you on a fake basis by Ziff's, fine dining in Invercargill, New Zealand, and by The Throne Room, tattoos, also in Invercargill. Shout out to Ben, our binge listener, and join us whenever you'd like to on Apple Play Music Podcast, whatever that service is that Apple has. Apple Podcasts, I suppose, and Google Play Music, or wherever you get podcasts. All right. Well, good show, kids.
Yeah. Yeah, good show.
You don't sound convinced of that.
No, okay.
I mean,
I don't know.
You
all right.
Sounded unenthusiastic about the show.
That's fine.
That's kind of how I'm feeling about the day.
I see.
Just meh. Oh, okay.
Well, maybe this will be a special meh edition.
Yeah. That was good.
That was good. All right. I love you, kids.
All right, love you. Bye.
All right. Bye.